Welcome to Henry's Off-Road Travels. In this series, join Sharon and me as our long-term plans of crossing Australia is finally realised. We have 4 months to explore and find out whether the West is really the best. We travel with friends in our new Land Cruiser 300 and fully off-road caravan. I hope you enjoy our travels as much as we do. This morning we take a walking tour learning about the history of the mining town of Broken Hill.
That mine, that all his paper artwork disappeared because they called it Pro's Gallery. So someone's got a terrific pencil drawings of original underground Pro Hearts. They haven't come to life yet, so somebody's got them. But back on Pro Heart, and there's these artists, other budding artists, unheard of. Eric mentioned John Pickup. He was a radio announcer at ABC. He's a bit of an entrepreneur, sort of a mature person. Jack Absalom and Hugh Schultz. They have a Jagger exhibition in London, and that royalty was going to go there. And they hit the panic button a bit because they were nobodies and didn't have much artwork, so they frantically started to do the artwork.
The guide we had was a long-term local, starting his career in the mining industry with BHP, and gave us a good rundown of the town and the mining industry, both highs and lows, including what it was like as a miner over the years working underground. He gave us an understanding of the codes used by miners when using lifts and shafts and the importance to the lift operator.
That's the way it goes. Right up there's usually big jointed shaft runners, and the theory is that the rope breaks, the cage is going down, the grippers come out, and when they hit that joint, they come out again, and hopefully it stops it. We was going down the cage one day, and then the power cut out. Now the power cuts out that winder, it should yo-yo. Blackman would be in this cage. It was the big cage. These are only small cages. On the big cage, he's got his knocker line here. If you pull that and open the gates, and he call your levels. Could be a couple hundred men. He has to get them down. He call out any off the 10, 20 men to get up. Any for the 11, 12, he's load. Then you get the next deck. They just kept loading them in. He'd send that cage away. This cage would come up. We call them mules underground, little locos, 8-ton loco. He would have pulled the ore off the ore body of the parties into the Grampy trucks. Grampy truck? Yeah, he's got trucks. And tip them down ore paths. That was Pro Heart's job before it became famous. And this is what we mine here. This is called galena. By the naked eye, just don't touch it, or it's not. You kill brain cells. You want to feel the weight of it pass around. Now that's galena. That's got, we don't know how much silver, lead, and zinc's in there. Until it's assayed. That's bullion ore. Bullion, it's got, but by the naked eye you know how much lead's in there, how much silver, could be a bit of gold in there, you don't know. And the way they mill these days, it's unbelievable. So hard hats come in. That's silver, that's native pure silver. Now that rock there, you don't find a lot of it because you scrape it off. You've seen a patch of it, you could scrape it off. See, that's got minerals in it as well, mica, but it's and that's pure native silver, wire silver, pure. Melt that down, you've got a few rings. See the fibres of the silver? You find that on rocks, you don't find a lot. It's pure silver, pure native silver. And the lights underground is a candle. When the early days, candle. That's a spider. It's called a spider. Hangs anywhere, fits in anywhere. Put it through your hat, anything at all. Then the lights started to come when I started on the mine. This is the light we had. Good light, but just used to leak acid. That's handy. Thank you. These are carbide lamps. The first motor cars that ever come in had carbide. Anyone make a carbide bomb? No. That's good. Carbide in the log cabin in the back of 10, put a rock in there, a nail hole in the top, throw in the water and pump up. And anyway, this is the carbide light on the cars. Carbide will go in there. You fill your water tank up there. Carbide, water tank there. And you adjust your drip. You adjust the drip of water would drip on the carbide, it give off acetylene gas, and you got a light for about 4 hours. Haven't known a lot about him. Once again up the river, the old man, he knew everything. I had to fish with him at 11, 12 and 1 in the morning, walk around the bank with I was the light boy. You always reckon you're going to get big cod, you know, that time of the night, and you know, spider webs and rustling, and I don't know what it was. And a lot of men had big patches down there, dungarees was denim, thick denim, and we wore rubber flaps across here to stop the leaking on us. good old days. And then we went to this light. Great light, but it's that heavy. It's heavy as hell. Just imagine that on your back, on the leather and on your flannel. Just that heavy, but a good light once again. Full of acid.
What about Kero?
Sorry?
Kero.
No, they wouldn't have any Kero down there. It's flammable. No, anything that, no, nothing that burns. That's why there's no petrol underground. They use diesel. No, nothing that burns. And then we went to this light here. That's all it is. That's still a good light.
What's that powered by?
LED. Yeah, it's still a battery. Still a battery. Yeah.
Oh, that's it's blood.
Now they haven't got that. All they got is that now. That's all they got.
Yeah.
You know, unreal how it's all changed. Unreal. They've got two thermometers in there. You've got a wet bulb with the wick and the dry bulb. And they used to come around, whatever that went, temperature went 26.75 Celsius or 81 Fahrenheit, or the temperature's both the same, 21. At saturation point, you went home. You went home, only worked 6 hours. So the boss would come around, that's wet, and he'd take the reading, whatever the temperature was, it broke 21.75, you went home 6 hours. A lot of fights and arguments over this, especially on a Friday night. You want to get to the pub at 11 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock, and the boss, you missed it by that much. And there's some nasty bosses around. You'd be sitting there saturated, hot as hell, and they come at you fired up. You think of that beer, you're going to have it knock off time. He comes to you, oh, you just missed it by that, man. I'll pop by cramping. Yeah, in my day it was, yes. Mainly all men. Even today, our mine's a bit different here. We're a rabbit warren. There's hundreds of kilometres of mine, and the ladies, not a lot of those. Some electricians, some in charge up. I did work with one. I think she's high up at Roxby Downs now. Kathy Lawton was her name. And only a whippet of a girl there, but she could drive anything. You come every day to get the kids rolls, you don't let them walk home, you know, they won't fix it. Before I start, that Silver City Comet there, that's the first air conditioned train in Australia. Could rattle on about 120, 130 k's. It went to Parkes, went to Sydney, but couldn't get over the mountains in Parkes, after Parkes in Sydney. They had to hook the big diesels on to get over the mountains and bring it back again. But you could really rattle along that there on the Sydney line. The Sydney line was never here. The Sydney line's above the traffic lights down there. So if you are going up on the hill, have a look at the memorial. On your left there is the Sydney railway station before you go over the railway line. The South Australian line used to go out here. It goes out to Coburn. That's our border, 30 mile out, 50k out.
It was a little hard to pick up what the guide was saying, but essentially he indicated that all supplies, including fruit and vegetables, come by train from Adelaide. The only thing Broken Hill made was bread. This is why they run on Adelaide time and have a close association with the South Australian city. As mentioned briefly in the last episode, on New Year's Day in 1915, 1,200 passengers boarded a train to Silverton for a local picnic day. After its departure, 2 men fired shots from behind an ice cream cart, flying the Turkish flag. This was the same time Australia was at war with Turkey. Several people died and were injured in the attack. 2 men were killed by militia and found to be of Pakistan origin. The Broken Hill German Club was burnt to the ground by distressed residents. The Barrier Daily Truth was a local newspaper that operated since 1897 and closed its operations in 2024. In front of the council offices are busts of the Syndicate of 7, the 7 people instrumental in establishing the Broken Hill Mining Company, and later to be BHP Limited. Charles Rasp is one who thought he discovered tin, and in fact it was a rich ore body of silver.
They were here, but they didn't get their own way in a big strike in the 30s. The little mine stayed open, and they virtually financed the striking miners, giving potatoes, bread and everything else. And the big Australian, they didn't like the BHP didn't like it, and they left town overnight. We had got nothing whatsoever. They got our name, or we got their name. But there, about 10 years ago, they donated about 6-7 million back to us. But we've got nothing to do with BHP, no connection at all with BHP. But they went and invested wisely elsewhere. BHP. Anyway, we're going to go over to the Trades Hall. Still a working building. They're trying to get it World Heritage. It's Australian Heritage, but it's trying to get it World. They decorated that decoration and pretty good all in there. With the ceiling, which is one, like as I said, they didn't know what they're going to do with it. All the old dust storms and the old tobacco pipe smoke. They didn't know how they're going to do it. They didn't know much about it.
This is a list of some of the miners who were members of the trade unions. Many had nicknames, as this is how they were known: Pro Hart, Pinky Brown, Nude Nut, Grinder, Tricky Trev, Spanner, Brother Mary, Spud Murphy, Salmon Head, and many more. Palace Hotel, made famous from the movie Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Broken Hill Operations is located on the southern end of town, and the town is now facing a grim future with Rasp Mine looking like going through a staged closure in 2024. After its owners CBH Resources could not find a new owner, it's finding it difficult to make a sound business case to continue mining for zinc, lead and silver. After a couple of hours of walking and taking in the town sights, we head north and into desert country. We make our way to Living Desert State Park. Simulated shelters out of broken mulga and branches. Story poles telling the story. Mine site. We're looking for Aboriginal etchings below the bridge. Can't seem to find any. Around the corner are the Broken Hill Sunset Sandstone sculptures aloft on top of a hill. The 12 sculptures were built in 1993 by artists from around the world and attract visitors to the area. See the sun and the eagle with the hands. And a beetle of some description, or butterfly maybe. Nope, try dove of the night, that symbolises darkness. The ibis, the bird sitting on top. For those who know me, art is in the eye of the beholder. The name of the sculptures and the stories that make the artworks to me gives me an insight to who the artist is and their personal journeys. Unfortunately for the art lovers, I'm not one who has a taste for the abstract or obscure storylines. Reclining woman? Of the 12 sculptures, some fell into this category of abstract or looked incomplete. Nonetheless, you could see a lot of time was spent in creating these amazing pieces of art. On the left you've got an eagle or bird of some description, a couple of paw prints, something underneath, got a kangaroo in the middle with a joey, stars, Australian stars I presume, maybe Southern Cross, a couple of hands, maybe the reclining woman's on the side.
something at the top there in like leaves or something. Tell me about this woman. Pretty typical of Broken Hill. Pick and shovel representing the mining. Maybe the stars are also representing Southern Cross Butt unions as well. The Moon Goddess. Lots of swirls.
This sculpture represents the legend of an Aboriginal woman who stole the moon and put it in her dilly bag.
Interior shapes that keep families together. Again, more swirls from what I can see. Look, I'm not an art critic, but I've got to see it. Ain't seen nothing. Now this at least looks like something. Under the Jaguar Sun, Baja El Sol Jaguar. Aztec Indian. Does look like something I've studied in the past. Measuring time and light. It's 4:30. Maybe that's the time. Maybe that's the sundial element. It's only 35. Fred Hollows, Volcania, sandstone. Rainbow serpent. That is the rainbow serpent. On top there, and then you've got etchings below of hands, people, person with spear, goanna, kangaroo footprints and emu footprints, and a big foot. You've got another serpent coming out of the rock as well. Looking to the country. TV totems. Totem on that side as well. And the horse. As you can see, a horse out of all that. Broken Hill in the distance.
We head back to Broken Hill to check out the sunset.
They all wanted to sit on the park bench and they just ran away. Broken Hill from the mine site. Cargo train going past. The cages they would have used to get up and down the mine shafts. over the years, different types. That would have been probably people, that would have been probably materials, or maybe that's materials. Rail cars, probably within the mines. First name's the nickname that they were called. Interesting. This looks like something that's likely to be transporting trucks, ore trucks from underneath up. Picks up the dirt and puts it in a truck. Sun setting on another day at Broken Hill.